morning. It is our it's a breakfast with Bloomy at its new time, 9:07 a.m. Bright and early. Christina is like,
my eyelids open and for me to be social.
Christina hasn't even come down yet from the clouds.
No, I'm still dreaming. I had such a wild dream last night. Oh my god.
9 a.m. We were requested by a Mr. Massimo Dodana to move it to an earlier time slot. It'd be better for his schedule.
And he's not here.
Mas? He's not here. He's on the Joe Piscopo show. He found a better show this morning. So good for him. We have 0 million viewers. I don't even know if that's a real number. 0 million. I think
zero is zero.
We're going to be able to do the show real good. It's going to be like 10 minutes. We're going to be like, all right, nobody's here. We're out too early.
Great. Even better.
Canceled breakfast with Bloomy. We're done. All right. So, Laura, I found out some crazy news over the weekend, and it kind of ruined my whole weekend.
Really?
Yeah, it was very depressing. So, last week we were in discussions, and I actually thought we finally had a match of hooking Christina and Cousin Willie up. Right?
Yeah.
I finally thought there was 9 a.m. Yes, Jennifer Vince. Massimo requested we move the show earlier. Going forward, we moved the show earlier.
You can file all complaints to Partners in Sound Productions.
All right. So, Cousin Willie, I thought we finally had a shot, right? Like, we were joking around about it. Christina's flexing her muscles. Like, we're like,
I'm like,
wow,
God.
really?
I'm just seeing if it still had it.
I'm like, really? Oh my God, we finally found someone Christina might be into. This weekend, his profile, someone comes on my page, requests like people you may know, and I'm looking through it. Cousin Willie is married.
Oh.
I immediately text Cousin Willie like on Facebook Messenger. I'm like, hi. He's like, what's up? I'm like, are you married? He's like, yes. He's like, why? I'm like, I thought we were hooking you up. I didn't know. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. We were just joking around.
I'm calling HR. I don't approve of this anymore.
All right, we're done. That's it. She canceled it. No more talk. But oh my God, that really ruined my weekend. Like I was like,
you don't know what's going on, do you, Mike?
What? No, nothing. No, there's nothing going on. I don't leave my house.
Someone else's relationship failure ruined your weekend.
This is what happens when you're married for 9 years. You just try to hook everyone else up.
There you go.
I've always done that. I've always enjoyed being the matchmaker. And people,
I hate that. Really?
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Like one of my good friends who I no longer talk to, they've been together now for like probably 7 years. So,
wow, and you hooked them up. Wow.
Good morning, Billy. Yeah. No, I enjoy hooking people up. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like kind of like Alex does, I guess, for Todd, right? Alex.
Oh, yeah, she was the matchmaker.
Is the one who introduced Todd to his wife. So, kind of crazy. All right, so Christina, first weekend with a car. Did you drive everywhere?
I didn't drive everywhere. I definitely am not trying to like be stupid with her. You know, I want to have it for a long time and take care of it. So, but I've been driving around. Don't get me wrong. I definitely have been enjoying the fact that I have a car, so it's great.
Did you name it?
No. I'm gonna. I can't find the right name yet. My first car's name was Cheryl. I will never forget her. She was
Cheryl.
The light of my life. It was a 1996
like a 90-year-old woman.
1996 Honda Civic 2-door hatchback, seafoam green, and then 8 months later, my dad put a racing stripe down the middle. So everyone knew I was coming from like 2 miles away. You would see like lime green driving.
My first car I bought from my grandparents. There's a 1985 champagne gold Honda Accord.
Nice.
Definitely like an old person's car. Like I bought it from my grandpa. And okay, so and the worst part is, this is crazy. So before I had my license, the car we had to work on it. So I bought it from them in the winter. I didn't get my license till spring, right? I'm an April bird. I had the car on jack stands in my backyard all winter. We were working. I had a bad alternator, so me and my step grandfather were working on it. Being the moron I am, good morning, Dave. I took the battery out of the car and put it in the front seat. But not realizing that, do you know car batteries actually have liquid in them?
Yeah.
And when they're on the side, the acid will actually eat its way out. So, like, in the springtime...
That's why they have to be disposed of properly. They have to them up and shit.
In the springtime, I go to open the door and get everything out, and there's a huge hole through the passenger seat. And battery acid all over the place. So now
it started an explosion.
So now, like, I clean this up, right? And now I have like this hole in the seat. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? I ordered sheepskin seat covers, like,
just cover it up.
But little, no, battery acid never goes away. Like when I would have like friends in the car and girls, and like my girlfriend at the time, she was in the car one day and she like gets out. And she's like, "What's up? Why am I sticking this seat?" Her shirt had a hole through it. It was like the battery was just there forever. So
you had to get rid of that car and those seats.
It was crazy, but like, who knew? I'm for someone very intelligent. I had no common sense. I did not realize.
That's my favorite. It's always the smartest people with zero street smarts. Like. Smack you in the head.
I don't really know if I would call street smarts knowing that a car battery has liquid is going to pour out.
Street smart. But understanding maybe you should do something else than just putting a sheepskin cover over the.
It's called using your head, Mike.
See it being like, it's fine.
Look who's here.
A motherfucking ghost appeared.
You found time for us?
Well, I found time for Laura and Christina, not for you.
Why am I disappearing?
Everyone who comes on, Christina.
Every time someone comes on, your soul is taken away.
I like it. I feel
cool. So, Mas, were you on the show already?
Yeah, I did the show already. Sorry for our viewers. I'm mobile, and I was able to get it done early. And
is it broadcast already, or they re-record? Is it live, or do they record it?
I don't know. I've never been on it. I thought it was live.
And did you actually have to go there? Like, was it virtual?
No, I did it from my office.
You did? Where are you on your way to now? Home or Montemouth?
I'm on my way to drop my car off because I need an oil change and an inspection. So I figured let me get that done.
That's not as exciting as I hope. Could you make a lie up? Tell us something more exciting.
I'm going to I don't know. I can't even come up with anything.
Don't think too hard, Mike.
So you don't know if it was live though, but you were on with Joe. Who was it? You and Joe Piscopo?
Yeah, Joe Piscopo and I were. He interviewed me, and I want to thank Phil Guarneri for nominating the Beanie Fund to be their charity of choice this week, for nominating us and how viewers can help. So
that's awesome. So is it just you two, or he has another guy on with him, right?
They were interviewing someone before me, and then I think Rich and Lois and the coach are going to go on in a little bit. So
cool, very cool. My friend Danielle was on their show a lot. She donated her kidney, and they were like mesmerized by that, and they had her on a number of times. Also, the fact that she donated the kidney to her boss. So just remember that to my employees. If I ever need a kidney, I expect. Gotcha. I would hope you would.
You got to match first. You got to do that.
So apparently, like that was the thing. Like he was unable to find a match, and he had mentioned and was talking to her, and she's like, "Oh, I'll go get tested." And which it like I think you have to max like 6. It's like out of 6 or something. She like when she got the results back, the doctor said it was a perfect match, almost like you were twins.
Wow.
So she's like, at that point, one will be like, I guess I'm giving him my kidney. Like it wasn't even like
you
like,
can't really say no in that case.
Yeah.
Right?
If you're like that perfect of a match.
Like they said it was like a max like that if they were twins. Wow. It was perfect. And that was a number of years ago now, and he's doing well. The last I spoke to her, it was a rough time there for a while. Like even after getting a kidney, like I guess it takes time for the body to get used to
recover and get used to it. Sometimes your body rejects other organs and stuff. Like it would reject a piercing. It's a foreign object,
She just compared a kidney transplant to a
piercing. No, it's not the same thing at all. But you get how your body rejects.
Oh yeah.
So, Mike, did you speak to our viewers and let them all know that Midday with Moss is temporarily on hold until we figure out
Shungad.
It's gone. We killed it. I think we mentioned it last week, I think. But yeah, so Midday with Moss is temporarily on hold. That's gonna turn into a midweek with Moss show. Are you in Jersey or Staten Island?
No, you can't get an inspection in Jersey.
Oh, that's right. Where are you? Is that Highland Boulevard? I'm trying to figure out.
That's Free Kills. That's going down Amboy.
I'm on Arthur Kill Road in Richmond Valley.
Oh, he's by Target.
Target.
Oh, those look like the same signs down by Great Kills.
Yeah, yeah, they have the
blue
same
signs
all over.
No, that's not what I meant, but okay.
You meant the bid signs, right?
If you're gonna like make me come on at 9 a.m. to bust my chops, I'm not coming on at 9 a.m.
So yeah, Midday with Moss is going to be turned into midweek with Moss, and that'll be on. Look, now we got Laura yawning. This is too early for the show. I was like,
the show's like going down the drain, man. We got nothing to talk about. We come on here just to show our face at this point. It's like I could take a picture.
Should we do that? Should we just broadcast our face for half an hour, see how many viewers we get?
No.
So, do we talk about what's going on in America, or is it way too political?
No, we could. I think we should thank all of our first responders, whatever side of the line you're on this. I mean, protesting there's nothing wrong with protesting. It's our amendment right, but, there's a respect level that you need to have. I mean, you're allowed to speak and peaceful protest. I mean, there was a great picture of Martin Luther King walking down the street and go, this man changed the world. He never raised his voice. He never cursed. He never yelled. He never screamed. He never was violent. He changed the world peacefully. And there's nothing wrong with having a difference of opinion. Mike, you and I have difference of opinion every show. We don't throw bricks through each other's businesses.
Right, but we agree with we agree with this. When we spoke yesterday, peaceful protesting. Those officers killed him. They deserve to, in my opinion, all be arrested, all be charged. And where are you?
I pulled into the shop that does my stuff, but
the violent, the riots, the looting, that is not right. That is not good.
These businesses, I mean. I think there's good and bad everywhere. I think 99% of, police officers are amazing people. There's, but one bad apple ruined the bunch, and that's not fair. I can turn around. I work hand in hand with the police all summer long at events, and they respect me. They don't have to give me the power that they give me. Like when we're doing outdoor festivals, they're the New York City Police Department, and they turn around and say to me, Moss, it's your show. Tell us where you need our men and women. They don't have to do that.
Right.
They're like, we want you guys to, have a successful event, and we want to make sure that everyone's safe. Where do you need my men? And we produced some of the largest events on Staten Island. Well, we did. And, now every once in a while, you get a guy that's having a bad day that might be, but Mike, you have a bad day. Christina has a bad day. Laura can have a bad day. I don't think
Christina's ever had a bad day in her life.
But the bottom line is that I think to stereotype, F the PD, you should all die. These are human beings.
No, so that's not right.
These are sons, women, their sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, grandparents. Nobody should die. And what that officer did in Minnesota. I obviously would looking at the video, the guy, was wrong, but I would love to see the whole video. I don't want to make it very, very, very political, but, there's always, you only get to see, and I've been caught in this situation where, people only show you the part of the video where, that person did wrong. And nobody deserves to die. I'm not turning around and saying this.
Especially over a $20 counterfeit bill.
100%. But why do we have to resist arrest? I had a very, very, very important conversation with my daughter last night at 11 years old. And I said, Carly, she goes, Daddy, but what's going on? I'm scared. I said, Carly, you don't have to be scared. Okay. Daddy will always protect you. She goes, but what if the rioters come here? I said, Daddy will protect you. You have nothing to worry about. Okay, I'm not going to tell her how I'm going to protect her because she doesn't need to know that. Okay, but we will leave that alone of some things that accidentally get left in video streams. But with that being said, I said, Carly, if you ever get into a situation where you are accused of doing something wrong, you need to do Daddy 2 favors. Multiple favors. Number one, I never, ever, ever want you to insult or disrespect a police officer. Okay, never resist arrest. You get arrested, you do whatever number one, you never resist arrest. Number two, you don't speak to anybody till Daddy gets there with a lawyer. Number three, you're always polite and you're always respectful. You're a lady, act that way. Even if you're 100% right, Daddy will take care of it when he gets there. And that's the problem. People think it's okay to it's okay to, fight law enforcement. You can have an argument, but listen, at the end of the day, and I have a lot of friends that are great cops, you can sit there and fight and curse and yell all day long. If you're going, you're going. There's nothing to do. If you broke the law, they have a job to do, and their job is to, tell it, tell it to the judge, I'm just here to do my job. You broke the law. We're going to take you to the police precinct. And why do we have to resist if you're right, wrong, or indifferent? If you're completely right, then you have a case.
Right. And I believe video came out which showed that he was already in handcuffs.
Mike, I didn't
and
watch
they were
And
walking.
he was unarmed and all that. It was just, it's all wrong in every way you look at it.
From what
and everyone's in agreement on that.
The only footage they say we will not see is the body cam footage because I guess Minnesota law prevents, I guess, the releasing of body cam footage or something like that.
Which at some point it'll get subpoenaed, it'll get released. But here's the thing, Mike. If you get arrested or you do something wrong, you broke the law.
Right.
Allegedly.
Innocent until proven guilty.
You're innocent until proven guilty. You broke the law. The officer's job, and I'm not a cop and I'm not a lawyer, is to just turn around and bring you to the police precinct. That's his job. It's not his job to become judge and jury. And I think what happens is that people want to turn around and fight the law. And you fight the law in a courtroom. You don't fight the law on the street.
Yeah, they're just the middlemen to bring you to where you gotta go. Really,
that's like
the facilitators.
That's like when you have an argument with, you call the credit card company or you call customer service and you're nasty to the person on the other side of the phone. It's not their person that your product got delivered damaged. It's not their fault that the pizza got delivered late. It's not their fault that the wrong product came. Somebody made a mistake. You get a lot more with honey than you do with vinegar. I've been in a lot of situations where I probably maybe should have gotten arrested. And I spoke like a gentleman. Hey, guys, I don't think I did anything wrong. Bop, 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 bop. I mean, listen, you could be speeding. I got caught on my motorcycle when I was 19 years old, driving on the Richmond Parkway doing 100 miles an hour. It's double the speed limit. I should go to jail. And I spoke very nice to the officer. And I said, listen, I'm an asshole. I'm sorry. I was stupid. I wasn't thinking. I didn't really realize how fast I was going. And he goes, listen, I can write you a summons. I can take you to jail. He goes, you're a young, good-looking kid. They're going to peel you off the floor with a shovel. I've been doing this 20 years, bro. You're going to die if you drive like this. And I looked at the guy and I said to him, wow, I never really thought of that. He goes, how is your mother going to feel burying you at 19 years old? How is your father going to feel? I don't know if you have any brothers or sisters. They're like, man, you got your whole life ahead of you. Smarten up.
Dave has an important question for you. He wants to know, why did you yell at Cosmo when lunch was late?
Because it's Cosmo, and he deserves to be yelled at. But the bottom line is that the guy let me go. He didn't even write me a summons.
He got real lucky.
And we all know that the highway cops they're tough cookies.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then we have the cop that arrested me on the way home from the hospital for my stomach. Not arrested me, pulled me over on the way home from the hospital for my stomach surgery, and gave me a speeding ticket for doing 40 and I'm 30. So we have cops like that too,
But Chris, hold on.
Right.
But Chris, I understand. But if the speed limit is 30, you're doing 40. Technically speaking, you're breaking the law.
with stomach bandages trying to get home. There's a time and place when you show a PBA card to give a girl a fucking ticket. It's not then. If you can do 100 miles an hour and get away with it, and I could do 40 and can't, that's where the problem lies. Because there are good cops and there are bad cops, and there are bad cops that exist within good cops. And if a flip of a switch and a flip of an attitude changes how people perceive things, and that changes how people react to things. And that's why we get in situations that we get in, because cops are filled with rage, some of them, and can't control their anger, and that's where it gets out of hand.
And not all of them. Like,
not I'm saying it's all of them. That's the problem. No one ever said it was all of them, but there are the cops. I have a father that's a cop. I've seen it firsthand. Believe me, I was told the same thing I was told.
Right. The big thing is, and what they're really asking for, you know, besides obviously equality, which should there be, and not the, you know, and all that. But the other big thing that needs to happen is there needs to be a governing body when complaints are made against the police because they can't police themselves. And that's what we're seeing. You're seeing things swept under the.
But Mike, have you ever been in a situation where you needed to do some type of security?
Actually, I did do security at Rock Club. Yeah.
Okay.
And
the bottom line is that no matter what happens, when there is a riot or some type of fight, there is, you know, you're fighting for your life.
And I agree. I'm not talking about the policing them with how they're handling the riots or whatever. I'm talking about the fact that the guy killed this person, you know, Mr. Floyd, and he had 18 prior complaints against him.
Yeah.
Right.
And like I said, I didn't follow up on the whole story. I don't, you know, I saw what happened, but where I'm really disgusted, okay, as a friend of the police department, as a friend of first responders, our mayor and our governor are doing nothing. Okay, they need to turn around, and our the police body needs to have the ability to police. Okay, if we don't police, if there's no police, there will be pandemonium going on 24/7. There will be rioting. There will be, girls will get raped. People will die. Businesses will get looted.
Of course, you need police. You need for law. Yeah.
But the bottom line is that when you start a salary at $25,000 a year in New York City or $30,000 a year, I mean, let's be honest. If the starting salary was $150,000 a year, you may get people that are a little bit more well-rounded. But the starting salary is so low that, and people don't even want to take the job. So what happens, Mike, when people don't want to take a job? You know, they lower the standards, and sometimes some bad apples get through the bunch. And I'm not knocking the cops. It's not their fault. Okay. But the bottom line is that, you know, in order to, you know, maybe we've had to, again, and I'm not trying to cause an argument, but maybe, you know, I always make a joke that a $1 an hour employee will only do so much, and a $2 an hour employee and a $3. The more you pay someone, the more skill set, the more quality of person. And the world needs CEOs as much as it needs janitors and as much as it needs everyone in the middle. But, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, Mike, would you want to be a police officer?
No, I went for it, and I moved on and went to do other things.
Why didn't you take the job, Mike?
Because I ended up getting a job I offered in the field I was studying for. But it's dangerous, right? Not everyone could do it. But there's also benefits to it, right? You're out in 25 years now with a pension, you know, and yes, your starting salary is not the greatest, but you quickly move up within a number of years. I think. Yeah, and you make a good living. But it's a dangerous job, you know. And the most dangerous part of a cop's whole job is a routine traffic stop. That's the most dangerous part, not the riots. Not the, you know, break-ins and murder. Like the most dangerous job is that routine stop when they pull over Christina for doing 40 and a 30. They don't know who she is, and that's Mike, where most of them are her.
Yeah, and I got to jump because my guy's here, but that's why when I get pulled over, and thank God it doesn't happen too often, I roll down all my windows, I shut off my car.
Oh, I do the same thing midwinter. In the winter, I'm in there freezing, and they tell you if you ever get pulled over, hands on the steering wheel, license opened up already on the dashboard.
Well, license on the dashboard is dangerous. You roll down the window, I take my keys, I put them on my dashboard, 10 and 2, and every time, license, registration, insurance, the reason why you roll down your windows, I have friends and family on the job. I wouldn't want any of my friends and family approaching a vehicle that they couldn't see the inside of. I just want to make sure that you feel concerned. I'm going to reach into my wallet. I'm going to give you my license.
Right.
99% of the time, guys, 99% of the time, they look at my license. You know why I pulled you over? No. Your taillight's out. That was a yellow light. I didn't realize. I'm sorry. Have a nice day. Get it taken care of. Because you spoke like a gentleman. You spoke with respect. I didn't be like, yo, I didn't fucking do that. What the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah, okay. You know what? Now you deserve.
Right, because all you're doing is making conflict. 100%. You have to treat them with respect. Even if you don't believe you did anything wrong, you have to show respect. And but that should be every point of, not just the police.
No,
people should always show other people respect. There's that we should all respect one another.
That's the biggest problem. I'm gonna jump, guys. Love you. Talk to you later. Bye.
He jumped. Yeah, Billy was saying he has police department, in 91. Vinny Bonami said, of course, the majority of all police are good. I don't think anyone is questioning that. I know this isn't all police. It's a very, very select few. The rioters are not about Floyd. The rioters and the protesters are very different groups. They're not the same. And that's what these groups come out, these radical groups, and they riot, and they use these times of turmoil to do what they want. And now it makes people believe, oh, look, these protesters are the same people. It's not. Very different groups, and it sucks.
I saw a video this morning of the protests going on in the city, and this one guy, I think he was like a European guy, because you did hear an accent. He has a mask on. I don't know if you guys saw the video, but he goes over to some guy that's filming, and he goes, do you want to flip the car? Flip the car. And this guy has a camera, and then the guy that's filming is like, yo, this guy said flip the car, and everyone gangs up on this guy because they don't want flipping cars. They don't want violence. They want peaceful protests in the city so that the cause actually gets noticed the right way. And
right, of course.
They're recording this guy running down the block, get him, because he's trying to incite violence. And literally, it's a white guy, probably not even from America traditionally, because he has
There's extreme left radical groups like Anifta. There's white supremacists. You have all of the worst coming out and doing what they can. It's at that point and trying to take away from what the real point is. Look, there was the video. I think it was in Austin of where a cop got separated from his the squad, and the protesters surrounded him to protect him. So these other, And then there's been where the sheriff was walking hand in hand with them. They said, walk with us, walk. And there he is hand in hand with the protesters.
I did see a video of some sheriff from somewhere saying, that cop is an asshole. He put a bad name on all of us.
There's a lot of that.
We understand this. It's so nice to see at least that end of this.
There's been a lot of that. And even the chief police yesterday from Minneapolis, was live on CNN, and they had the brother of Floyd talking, and he said they were wrong. I am sorry. This should never have happened, And then they asked about the other 3 cops. Why haven't he goes? They were a complaint, and that they should be held accountable. And they are. The prosecutor today said the same thing. You just gotta give us some time to put together the case, right?
Yeah.
The case with the guy's knee is easier than the guys who are just standing around doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But he said law enforcement, or you can't just stand around and do nothing. Look at it. Jerry Seinfeld in the finale of Seinfeld got arrested because the Good Samaritan law. And they ended the whole season.
If you see something wrong being done, you are just as guilty.
Right. And the really bad part is this is all happening during a pandemic.
Yeah.
So people are now right now. So now they're out there. Some of them with masks, some aren't. And now you're like, oh God, what is going to happen to these numbers in a week, 2 weeks from now? Is this going to affect?
Honestly, I don't think anyone cares anymore.
Well, that's the problem. People don't care, but you have to. It's a pandemic. It didn't just go away.
People have antibodies. They're over it. It's time to get on with life.
Was that serious, or are you just vomiting?
I think I'm just sick of the world at this point. I just want to friggin' stay in these clouds, honestly.
Glad you joined the rest of the Staten Island in your beliefs.
No, Mike, I think I did have corona at some point. I think you did too. And I think if I go back to the real world, I'm going to be just fine.
Right, but we don't know that.
I think I'll be right.
I'm confident.
She's like, I have a car now. I am no longer the.
I'll just drive away from Corona.
I need to be able to travel. Where am I going? The police chief was great. Ooh,
all right, we're at a half hour. Over.
Are we? We are. Yep. Yeah, 31 minutes. Good. We are keeping it short, sweet. Join us tomorrow. Breakfast with Bloomy. New time, 9 a.m. And we will see you all tomorrow.